XTech Tactical AK mags. Let's check it out. XTech Tactical is a fairly new company in the gun market. They produce some really cool, very high quality magazines. My first experience with XTech Tactical were their HK mags, which match the quality of factory OEM HK mags. And then they have a 5-round extender, so you have 20-round magazines. We did a full review on those magazines. I have the review annotated right above. And they do other products as well. But today we're going to be taking a look at their Mag47. This is a US made AK-47 mag with the waffle pattern, which makes it really strong. But there's some features of this mag that supersede any mag made in the US and really match or exceed European mags. Now, I've had the Mag47 mags for months, and we have put a lot of rounds through these magazines. We're going to be doing some torture tests. We're going to be testing out the real strength of these mags. Now, the AK-47 has a huge reputation of just being super durable in the battlefield. Very reliable. It can about handle anything, and it is. It's a very simple rifle in a lot of ways. And because of that, guys that really get into the AK demand a good quality for their magazines. And so, you know, a lot of your Eastern European magazines are out there that are really highly sought after, and they can get kind of expensive. And then you have some of the cheaper made magazines and the US. There's a number of different companies that make magazines. But one of the things going with polymer, there's some weaknesses that need to be addressed. And so we're going to take a look at the XTech Tactical Mag47. There are some things about this mag, to me, that supersede a lot of the European mags, but definitely anything I've seen here in the US. Now, the rifle I have here is one of the Romanian RH10s, and I have some of the Manticore arms, accessories, pistol grip, and this wire buttstock. And then I have one of the Trigicon, and this is the TA44, but this is with the ACSS reticle for 30 caliber, offered by Primary Arms. And so just to kind of let everybody know, and then we have some Magpul furniture in the front. I'm not really going to be talking about this rifle too much right now, but we're going to go ahead and make sure the gun is unloaded, and it is. Now guys, as I've mentioned, we've had these magazines for months, and we have done extensive testing. We have shot a lot of rounds through these magazines, and they do very well at the range. I mean, they're just reliable. We didn't have any kind of hiccups. You know, they insert into the rifle very easily. One of the big things about this magazine, though, to me, is this right here, the locking lugs, and then here at the front. They are steel, which is really important, especially with polymer. And then there's a cage that goes around this whole area. In fact, if you can look, and I'll try to see the reflection of the steel underneath, it has the steel underneath that just surrounds this, and then you have steel feed lips. And so this is going to really protect those lips. The polymer can get messed up, and we're going to mess them up. We're getting ready to mess these magazines up. But they hold up because the steel is underneath, and the steel is what contacts, you know, the rounds that are in here. Now, there are two different versions, and here we have our standard AK-47 mag follower. Of course, it's a little bit different, but then we have the bolt hold open model, and this is just a little more, and it does have the bolt hold open feature. And so what this will do is on the last round, it will hold the bolt open. When you remove the magazine, the bolt will drop, but it definitely lets you know that the magazine is empty. I really love these. In fact, I have these for a number of different rifles. This little follower is just excellent. You see the little steel insert right here. One of the big things too about this magazine is the waffle pattern. It just adds a lot of strength to the body of the magazine. And then here you can see the ribs that come all the way down, and again, it just gives it strength. Plus it gives you a really good solid fit to the hand, I mean, when you're grabbing these, and with AK mags especially, because you're rocking them into the gun. a lot different than most of your other type rifles. Now another big thing is the base plate. It is removable, and there's a little catch here, and this is toolless. So I can actually do this with my finger. We're going to hold on to it and pull the base plate off. And here comes the spring. One of the things about the spring, it is stainless steel, and it also, the way it's set up, it has an anti-binding mechanism that's built into the magazine. So this is going to keep this magazine feeding very smoothly, which is obviously important. And of course, it's really easy just to put this right back in. But I just wanted to kind of show you the mag, because you know, a lot of times, especially with AKs, because we tend to, with the AK, we're a little bit more not as so careful like we are with the AR, seems to anyway. And they like to get dirty. And so there you go. I mean, it's a very simple system, but it's really strong. Now, they have done testing up to 20,000 rounds on these magazines without failure. And so that's a real big deal. These are made in Arizona. And so this can go into any rifle that's imported to make it 922R compliant. And it's one of the things you have to be careful about when you're shooting rifles that are imported, is that the magazines need to be compliant with many of those rifles. You know, and guys, really, right at this point right now, they're not really enforcing it from what I understand. But, you know, it's always good to have US-made mags for that very reason. All right, we're just going to check fitment from different rifles. And so the first one we have is the Romanian RH10. Good lockup, no wobble. And then we have this is the James River Armory. It's made from Norinco parts or Chinese parts. This is a really cool rifle. Nope, man, that's tight, but yet not too tight. I mean, it just locks right in. Here we have the Century Arms C39 V2 milled receiver. A solid lockup. Then we have the Century Arms RES-47 pistol. Solid lockup. Here we have the CMMG Mutant. This is an AR style that takes AK mags. Locks in. Nice, good, solid fit. Then we have the IWI Galil, which takes AK mags, but it will not accept the Mag47. It's because of the waffle pattern. You can see that it just goes here and it doesn't go in deep enough. I actually talked to Jeremy at XTech Tactical, and he said he is working with IWI to come up with a magazine that will work in the Galil. And the one thing about the Galil, it needs to take US-made magazines. And one thing about AKs, a lot of times from different countries especially, is the mag wells can have some tolerance differences. And yet, everything I've seen, not only here, but also other guys that have reviewed these magazines have shown that they fit a number of magazines. There's no fitting, there's no problems at all. We have a fully loaded magazine. We're just going to do some simple drop tests. We'll do it on the side first. Now we're doing this on concrete, so it's going to be pretty tough on the magazine, but that's part of the deal. Up on the bottom. Now we're going to drop it directly on the feed lips. No rounds have come out either. Here you can see there's some wear right here on the feed lips. That's polymer, but there is the metal lining inside, so we'll check that out. Here on the bottom, a little bit on the sides, but dropping this on concrete really tells a lot about what these will stand. What's great is no rounds came out with any of the drops. Now we're going to run it over with the Hummer, and we're going to run it over first with the dirt and then with concrete. We had some leaves, but no problem. But the real test is going to be in the concrete. All right, you can see a little bit of the scuff from the concrete No cracks. That's pretty impressive right here on the concrete. Now this one is a full one, so let's try out one that's empty. And those rounds may have given it a little more strength. And nothing came out. All right, let's check it out. Scuffs, dirt, impact from dropping it on the pavement. No cracks at all. And Seth really rested the tires on that one. Man, it looks strong, very strong. That waffle pattern's strong, and this ribbing, and that really even helps with the strength of the polymer even. So good stuff. All right guys, here is the magazine. We brought it into the shop just to get a little better look at it. It definitely has a lot of damage to it. And we drove over it obviously, so now this has more dirt, and I think this was sitting in the dirt when we ran over it. This is the same magazine. Went ahead and just did all the tests on one mag. But this one with the concrete, it definitely roughed it up once we drove over it with the Hummer. Now the feed lips themselves, you can see that they're worn, but you have those steel reinforcements underneath. So really you could take some sandpaper if you want to file that down a little bit, just to keep from any kind of burrs to be hanging up, which shouldn't. This bolt should ride right over it. But even with the lug here, we had a little bit of dings right in here from dropping it, but it still held up very well. And so guys, I'll tell you, and that was not a huge torture test, but we kind of put it through its paces. And of course, no AK Mag test would be complete without some push-ups. Of course, there's no damage to the lugs. They're made of steel. Now, out at the range, they just ran like tops. I mean, they're built like tanks, and they feed well from the first time we inserted the magazine. It's such a solid fit. And just like I was showing with a lot of the different variants, that mag well can have some different dimensions. One of the things about injected polymer when they're molding these is that they can shrink, they can expand, and typically expand, and to where you sometimes have to do fitting and filing to be able to get them to really fit into the mags correctly. What's really cool is these mags fit into every AK I've tried, but then again, there's not hardly any movement. There's not a lot of wobble. And so how they do that, I don't know, because they just seem to fit, and they seem to fit well. But if you really want to see a real torture test on these magazines, I'm going to refer you to the expert. Robski over at AK-47 Operators Union did a complete test on these magazines. I'm going to have it annotated above. You can click on it, and I'll also have it down in the description. But Rob's a great guy. I love him to death, and man, he put these magazines through the ringer. Now here we have a lineup of different type mags, and the steel AK Mag, these things have been used since 1947. These magazines are well known. There's a lot of different ones. One thing is though, they're heavy. So a lot of people have gone to the polymer, including different militaries. Now this is a Bulgarian Mag, and I got this one from Gun Mag Warehouse. Smooth sides, really nice, well-built mag. This one does have metal in the top and reinforced, and of course your lugs are reinforced as well. And then we have a Pro Mag. Now these are made in the US. They have steel. You can see the steel coming through. One of the problems for me with Pro Mag is that a lot of times they'll work and sometimes they don't. It's just one of those things with Pro Mag. And we've done some testing with these and they function fine. But that's just one of the things that I've noticed, unfortunately, with Pro Mag. Now, Magpul with their Gen 1 or Gen 2 mags, with their AK, doesn't have the steel here, the reinforcement. And with that polymer, that can wear. I mean, locking that in over and over and over. Then here at the front. And then, of course, you have just strictly polymer feed lips. And so, to me, these are just practice mags if I want to take them out and just shoot. But I don't rely on them. And then we have our Gen 3P Mag. Now this has the reinforced steel here, it has the reinforced steel at the front, and the rib is reinforced, but the lips are polymer. And so, you know, that's to me a little bit of a weak link. But we've done extensive testing with these and they hold up very well. But I'll tell you, if you really want something for extreme use, to me, the XTech Tactical is going to give you a lot of advantages up here with the feed lips being protected. And two, again, these are US made mags. And I don't want to hate on Magpul. I love Magpul products. These mags have been great. I'm glad they did the reinforcement. But to me, the feed lips are very important, especially in the long run, especially if you're going to encounter any kind of damage to the top of your magazine. Now the Mag47, it's a little thicker than your PMag. The PMag is 1.135 inches, while the XTech Tactical Mag is 1.25 inches. The steel AK Mag comes in at 0.95 inches. The Bulgarian smooth side mag is 1.1 inch, and the Pro Mag's coming in at 1.15 inches. So the XTech Tactical Mag47 is definitely a little thicker, but you're getting that reinforced polymer waffle pattern. And guys, to me, that's worth it. I've seen some guys that have fit these into different mag pouches, and they seem to all fit in your standard, you know, military and a lot of your tactical type rigs. Now, XTech Tactical really wasn't trying to produce the cheapest mag because they really wanted the quality. These run $26.95 on the XTech Tactical website. Again, you get a 5% discount using Suit00 at checkout. And then for the magazine bolt hold open feature, it's $29.95. So it's a $3 difference for the bolt hold open feature. And you can go to the XTech Tactical website. I can't put links here, but definitely check it out. And guys, if you have a VP9, you definitely need to check out their magazines. These are excellent. And they have the 5-round extension. And they have the gun handler, which this is great for the range, especially if you've got guns laying up on a table or a bench. And so there's just a lot of cool things that XTech Tactical offers. And I want to thank the guys over at XTech Tactical for sending the Mag47 for this test and evaluation, and also for giving you guys a 5% discount using Suit00 at checkout. And guys, again, check out AK-47 Operators Union. Rob does a total torture test, and Brandon Herrera, the AK guy, he also does it. In fact, he's going to start including the XTech magazines with all of his rifles. So there's a lot of guys giving this a big thumbs up. Thumbs way up. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. XTech Tactical AK Mags. Long live the Republic. Wake up the neighborhood, baby.
And XTech Tactical Mother Russia approves.